Hey guys, I should be live. I want to say hi to Elia and David. Hopefully, I said that correctly. Thank you so much for being live with me, guys. So today we want to talk about facial expression, and I decided that I'm going to simply do a little drawing with you. I also want to take your question, guys. If you have any questions, especially people that are in the Paintable tribe, I'll put a link for the tribe if you're not part of it in the comment below, as well as a link for my brushes, a link for the 1 week portrait challenge, which I'll talk about in a few minutes, a bunch of other links. So if you want the links, they are in the description. But for those people that are live with me, I would love to have any question that you may have about facial expression or whatsoever. Today is going to be a little impromptu. I'm just going to basically paint with you guys and draw and take your questions. So yeah, why not start right away? I'm going to start sharing my screen. I'll actually open in Photoshop a few things. So I have, let me just move a few things so I can see you guys. If you're in the chat, let me know if you see me well, hear me well. It happens so many times, so I repeat myself each time. It happens so many times I do live, speak for like 10 minutes, and then someone in the chat is like, we can't hear you. And I'm like, oh. So yeah, let me know if you hear me well, if you see me well, please. If you are in the chat, that would be awesome. And so yeah, I'll present what I have here. So I have a few references from Rachel Bradley. If you want the same reference, you can find them on Gumroad. I bought them today. I think your face is very expressive, so it's going to be great to draw this. They were $5 too, so it's very cheap. What you have at the bottom here, this is a free download that I created, I want to say about 2 weeks ago, about facial expression. The Digital Painting Academy student have actually the videos that comes with that. But for everybody else, you can download this for free. And in there, you'll have basically a reminder of the basic 6 or so facial expression with the muscles that comes with it, as well as my recommendation to continue studies further with the anatomy of faces expression, which is an amazing book for this. And David says that we can hear me. Perfect. Thank you so much. So yeah, so you can download this. I put a link as well in the description below. But today I'm basically going to tackle those reference with you guys and do my best at them. I'm just moving stuff around so I can see you guys. Because I'm working on a laptop which doesn't have much space. I'm always like pushing everything around. But anyhow, so I'll be doing those, show you my process, my thinking behind it in a few minutes. But before I do this, yes, the 1 week portrait challenge, guys, this is coming on the 11th of April. It's going to be a week. If you already participated, you know all about it. If you didn't, I'll give you the speech for a few minutes. So basically, the 1 week portrait challenge is our annual challenge where I give for free my most loved by all the community tutorial about portraiture for free for 1 week. You can have access to it. There's one video every day, and the entire community works together towards painting their best portrait ever. And every year we have amazing portraitures that show up. There's a link if you want to register in the comment. So I'll leave it to that. And if you have any question, let me know. But yeah, I want to say hi to Daniel. Daniel, thank you for joining. And watch later again. Hey, hope this is gonna be up. Yeah, it's gonna be. The replay is gonna be there. What do you mean by SEO? All right. So yeah, let me just kind of start here. I'm a little coldish. I didn't draw much today, but I'll start with a few sketches. If you have any questions, please don't ignore me. Tell me your question. I'll be more than happy to answer them and stuff like that. So I'm going to start with one of those. They're all very expressive. They're all very nice. I think I'm going to go with the first one. I think this is pretty cool. I don't know if I'm going to do the hands, but the expression is really cool. Hi, Patricia. Thanks for joining. And David says, yeah, do you think that all lives will be available? Yeah, this one is going to stay there. Absolutely, guys. You won't be able to ask questions if you come later, but it's going to be live. So yeah, let me just kind of warm up slowly here. Always good to warm up a few rounds, a few circle. I mean, a few lines to help you, and then yeah, you know what? Let's describe this one. So basically, there's an angle to the face. I think the expression is within the eye, and the muscles are pretty much a smile. So if you go back to this sheet here, it's kind of the smile here. So you're gonna have like the muscles on the side of the face. Maybe I can actually just do that real quick. The side of the face kind of pulling this way and this way. And then this is rising this up and kind of doing these eyes. So I'm thinking about all of that when I'm going to do it. And it's always good to just start with just a few lines. I don't know if I'm going to do something completely realistic, but yeah. Starting with the Andrew Loomy, or is it Loomis technique of kind of having like a cranium, but I never kind of follow it completely. Hi, Sabrina. Once again, guys, if you have any question, if you guys are in part of the tribe community, the Paintable tribe, let me know in the chat. Let me know if you've been participating this month, doing some facial expressions. How does it go? You guys find it difficult or not? All of this. Amy says Rachel Bradley has such a great references. Yes, I think her references are really good. She has a very expressive face as well, so this is nice. Big eyes and everything. I think the eyebrows could be something that just to look at. So what I'm doing here is I'm not taking too many measurements, and I might pay for it later, but I'm just going to try to kind of eyeball it a little bit for now. Kind of thinking about just a few lines, and hopefully that's going to pay off. Sometimes, you know, there's gesture in the face too. It's not just in the body. You know, last month that we did for the deep dive in the Digital Paint Academy and in the Discord, we did just the gesture gesture about the whole body, but there's gesture as well in the face. You know, if I go over this, for example, real quick, you know, there's lots of gesture lines that are super important to kind of catch that, push things up, all based on the muscles, really. So I'm trying to kind of catch that. So yeah, I'm seeing David says, tribe, let's make the noise. And that's great. Melinda's, how much time do you draw in a day, and how much time is the business side of art taking in a day? That's a great question. And unfortunately, I work a lot on the business most of the time. I'm trying to get out of it, but you know, business is not just answering client. It's not just sending invoices. Business means also sometimes just editing videos. You know, like I'm making a lot of videos. It's part of my business model to create video for promotion. And so editing, I think, is one of the biggest part right now that I'm having these days. I'm actually working with an editor for the first time in 6 years now. And I'm very looking forward to kind of find my flow with it. But unfortunately, like you want specific numbers, I spend most of my day on an 8-hour basis doing business. And I'm trying to at least have an hour a day minimum. But sometimes it goes to 3, 4, sometimes 8. But as we are doing the 1 week portrait challenge in about a week, about 2 weeks or so, funny enough, you know, the 1 week portrait challenge is all about portraiture, and it's all about doing art, really. But during that period, that's the period I'm doing the less art, because there's so many things to manage right now. I'm working towards getting the sponsors for the event. So every year we have free gifts coming from Wacom, from Huion, from XP Pen. They're giving us tablet for the winners. Paintable obviously gives courses for the winners. All of this I'm trying to gather, me and my team, not just me, trying to get the best deals, the best tablets, and all of that for you guys for participating, for the winners that are drawn at random. So really, everybody has a chance to win, and just everybody has a chance to learn as well, which is kind of the whole goal of this challenge. Really, is to kind of having the whole community learn. So yeah, doing this at the moment. I would love to just spend more time painting, and that's since I started Paintable. Really, that's been my goal since the beginning, trying to get back to fully working on art. And it's funny, I was looking at a video today about it was Jazza, uh, that had a very clickbaity title saying it's been 10 years or something like that, and he looked all sad on the cover. I don't know if you guys saw it. Basically, his story was that, oh, finally, after 10 years, I'm able to go back to the reason why I started my channel. He's obviously very successful with 5 million people following him on his channel. But his whole thing was like he wanted to do art and music and sculpture and drawing. And he started at the beginning doing this, and it was not picking up because it was just doing too much of everything. And you need to focus if you want to get results in anything, really, not just illustration, but anything that you want to accomplish in life. You need some sort of focus. And so, yeah, after 10 years and now that he's popular, he's able to just go back to whatever he wants to do. So I'm really happy for him. This is kind of cool. And this is kind of the journey that I'm on right now. Is I'm having a real focus at teaching because, A, I like to teach. I hope that this is going to go. Otherwise, I'm going to have to reboot. Because I love to teach, but I would love to have more time to do my own art, continue pushing my shop. I like to create. So just creating for creating. Anyway, I think I lost myself in that question, but thank you so much for the question. It was a nice question. Let me know if you have more questions. I only see this one. If you have any question, guys, about art in general, facial expressions, the challenge, the DPA, anything really, I'll be more than happy to answer all of them as I'm painting this. And as you can see, it's going somewhere. So I'm trying to focus here on having just very like the basic understanding of the expression, not too like by not committing too much on the line, so not too dark. Even if we work like digitally, and I'm able to put them in transparency later, trying to not go too hard. And then what you want to do is you want to accentuate the places that have cast shadows or occlusion shadows, or where the muscles are kind of squinting and all that. And those little things will make a huge deal to actually express the emotion. I mean, the emotion is already here, but I'm going to add just a few things and you'll see it's going to be much better. Though it says, how long take to start feeling comfortable in front of a camera? How you can split your attention for drawing and talking. First of all, I'm very bad at this. And second of all, I'm still not like comfortable in front of a camera. I'm a little bit bored. You know what? That would be a lie. I'm actually okay. But when I start a live, I still have that weird moment before you press play of like, is everything in place? Did I did a mistake? Is everything gonna go right? So it's still stressful, and I think it's part of it. But I'm assuming you're asking the question because you would like to have like an advice on how to get better in front of a camera. And really, the only advice I have is do more of it. When I was traveling Indonesia about 4 years ago, 5 years ago, no, 4 years ago, I would do a live like this every week. And I'm going to tell you, I forced myself every of those weeks. It was really hard, but I'm very grateful that I did it because today I have that base. I'm able to just kind of, I don't know, feel in my element a little bit more. But when I was doing those lives, I remember, and I would do them very early. Like when I say early, it's like 7 in the morning, 6 in the morning, something like that, because I was on the other side of the world in Indonesia, in Bali, small island, tropical, and I wanted to catch the time for the USA mostly, or the other side of the globe. And so I was really like tired at the beginning, and I remember I was with my business partner at the time, Fabian, and we would have like a moment right before the video where we would just go and scream and all that to kind of pump it up and then go in front of the camera. And so, yeah, I did that for like a few months. And by the end of that period of time, it became just like, all right, I'm not overthinking it. I'm just going in front of the camera and doing my thing. Melinda says, your teaching style is amazing. The DPA lessons are so simple to understand and small, effective information builds easy to digest. Well, thank you so much. I spent a lot of time actually working on that because for me, it's very, very important, actually. Um, you know, there's a lot of great artists out there that do amazing art. Uh, I would even qualify them better, if not much better than me. But teaching teaching is an art by itself, and it's not because you're the best artist that you communicate well your techniques or break them down for anybody to understand. And I know this because before being a teacher, I'm also a student. I'm a student. I try to learn every day from my favorite artists, from the foundation skills that I want to get better, from so many things, right? And each time that I step on is that a word, step on? If you guys are Anglo, let me know in the comment. I was trying to look for it today, but anyway, each time that you find a an artist that you really like, and you try to look at their teaching, and then they're describing what they're doing on the screen, as in like, and here I'm making a line, and here I'm making another line, and this is another line that I'm putting, and oh, this line, bar aside this line. It's like, okay, I know what you're doing. I'm seeing it but tell me, how do I understand how to do those lines, or what goes in your head, or what kind of technique to support what you're doing, and those kind of things. These are the things that are important. And then it's how to break them down into small pieces so that you can actually try them one by one and don't feel overwhelmed and see progress and just, like this, getting better and better. That's what I've been trying to get better at. And thank you for noticing it, because I've been working really hard at it. Patricia says, I'm anxious to see how you draw the character's mouth. Drawing teeth is one of my weak points. It's one of my weak point too, actually. I'm very nervous about doing it, but I think what I like to do is probably one of the best advice that probably any artist would tell you out there is just kind of don't paint each teeth. I mean, just kind of have the gums showing up. So the one thing what I would do is, because she has a ton of teeth here, well, a ton of teeth, like she would have more teeth than I do. Just her teeth are very well defined in this picture. And so what I would like to do is sometimes it's just, I'm going to place lines, but just to make sure that I have like the measurements, and I'm not going to count them, although I could, but just going to kind of eyeball it. Like there's a bunch here. So I'm just going to do those kind of line here. And then there's foreshortening on this side a little bit. And I'm going to delete them afterwards. But what I'm going to do here is probably just go here and kind of do the gums at the top here. And then you can kind of delete this and just the gums, and maybe even like the little crack, maybe just right here. The gums and a few cracks at the bottom will give you kind of the illusion that you put lots of details, even though you just really just put the gums. And it makes them look clean. So yeah, that's one trick right there. Hopefully that will help you. Kaide says, are there any books that you recommend for anatomy and stylization? Those are really two things, but yeah, see in the in this free download that you already have, Kaide, because you're part of the academy, I believe, right? I think I remember sending you a video welcoming you. But anyhow, this book right here, Anatomy of the Facial Expression, lots of details in there. If you buy this book, you'll be able to just see all the muscles that are good for the facial expression, but all the muscle in general. So I recommend this. There's a lot of books that I recommend this, but as I'm speaking of this, I think this is one of the best books for facial expression. Really, really well done. When it comes to stylization, I don't have a book. I think a lot of people are saying, go check the kind of stylization that you like Disney. If you go check the books of Disney, or really, it really depends. Stylization by itself is not one thing. It depends on the taste of any person. For me, stylization can be a couple of artists, another couple of artists, and so on. It's just a question of taste, right? But if you want something that has um, a special flavor, what you want is to find those artists, and then yeah, study them basically. Hopefully, this is answering your question. So yeah, reading the chat. Tifkat says Andrew Lumi's books are good ones. That's absolutely true. Although the books itself, I think they're very hard to read. They're very heavy on text, but there's a lot of great images and sketches that he did to express his ideas, and they're definitely well done. So yeah. Um, um, yeah, I'm actually planning on doing an Andrew Lumi video, kind of a recap of Andrew Lumi for the deep dive for next month for the DPA. So if you guys are in the DPA, I'm gonna have one video, a quick video, because it's gonna be mostly about the 1 week portrait next month for the deep dive. But yeah, just like a reminder of like his technique would be super cool. Do you leave the teeth less defined when you fully render the portrait? Um, I would say so, but that's a stylization again, I think. But things that you can do when you look at his teeth, her teeth, is like you could have like a few highlights, just express the general like rendering as in a shape of it and not individual teeth could also help. There's so many ways to do it, and I don't think I'm going to render this one today, but if I were to, yeah. Um, so yeah, let me go nice. Let me know if you have any more questions. I'm going to try to push this one while you guys are writing more questions. But yeah, please, love to answer questions. So yeah, I mean, like the expression is already there. I could stop there, but I'm gonna just push it a little bit more because I'm not satisfied. This is not satisfying drawing. I want to make it just prettier. But at this point, if I were to just study, you could stop there. I think once you understand the basic expression, you don't have to push more. You can move forward and kind of practice expression, right? So if you practice expression, do a lot of them. If you practice portraiture, then finish the portrait. In my case, just for the entertainment side of things, I'm going to push this one a little bit further. So yeah. So who's participating in the challenge this month? Let me know in the comment. Let me know how many of those did you do? Did you do 1, 2, 3? I think the numbers were 30, 60, and 90, I believe. And while you answer that, let me explain you what I do here. So what I'm doing here is like, I think that to express the depth of things here, having like the occlusion shadows only for the mouth, that's pretty much all I need. I might just kind of cut that up. And as I'm doing more details, I kind of lose a little bit the expression. I'm gonna have to modify that afterwards. But that's not a problem with liquify and everything. I can have a little fun afterwards. For the lips, here's a trick that I like to do is don't do an outline that is as defined as the inside of the lips. And that's going to help you later on when you're going to be rendering. All right, so going back to the expression here, because I think that's what's important mostly. I'm just going to zoom out here, and I feel like her expression is just more. I want to exaggerate it a little bit more, and I think two things that can exaggerate here is probably the eyebrow here by kind of putting that higher a little bit. That's going to help. That's kind of already kind of exaggerated a little bit. And obviously the eyes, I could probably push the eyes to be just kind of a little bit more open. Because we are talking about doing facial expression here. So might as well push those things a little bit more. And having the muscles, I know there's a line here, having the muscles showing like here the muscle of the eye kind of have a stretch mark here. And stuff like that. David says, I won't, but I'm still. But I will be my first started gathering my courage already. Um, I'm not sure what you mean here. Did I miss maybe a text before? Um, if you're talking about the facial expression challenge, I want to remind everybody that the community, the digital painting, the Paintable tribe, I mean, you don't have to be scared to kind of participate. Just participate, put your best, and have some fun. I think it is one of the best community out there where people are not judgy to each other. They actually help each other. We have amazing moderators. Shout out to my moderators here, Jeffro, Lola, and I would have to remember the third one, sorry. The name is a bit more complicated. But just shout out to the moderators, all of them. We have one of those community that I'm very proud to be part of, just, being part of it, because I've been into communities and there's a lot of showmanship in others communities where just people are dumping art to for the sake of kind of showing off. And I think this is not good for people that wants to learn. And so we have that amazing community where people are actually genuine to actually help each other, both moderators, me, or just the community itself. So don't be scared to post your work in there. All right, I could push this one more, but I think I'm gonna maybe just do a few shapes for the hands. Zooming out here. Hey Lola, you're in the chat. Awesome. Chibi, exactly. That was the name I was trying to remember. Chibi, sorry. So yeah, just a great community out there for people that like to learn, like to teach, like to be part of the community. So I'm not gonna do the ends like completely here. I'm just gonna do like just a shape here. And just kind of another triangle here. There we go. I'm not going to do the hair. This is facial expression. All right. All right. Oops. 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 Okay. Okay. There we go. Ooh. Ooh. What is happening? Oh, damn. When that happens. So there's one thing here. I have an amazing new tablet from Wacom, but there's something happening sometimes where I paint with it, and then for some reason it just stopped working. So this is my trackpad. So as you can see, I have no pressure sensitivity, and now my pen won't do anything. That's not the first time it happens, and it's a problem that I cannot. Damn, I wish I could just continue here. Let me just go back to you guys, and I'll take more questions and just have a chit chat with you, but looks like I won't be able to paint no more. Let me go there and there. I'll try to reboot Photoshop, but usually it doesn't work. So let me know if you're in the chat if you have any question, because really that's all I can do now is answer your question. And a reminder to everybody that we're here to answer a question about anything digital painting related, facial anatomy, the DPA, and the 1 week portrait challenge, which comes soon. We have a bunch of links in the description of this video for all of those things, the brushes that I've been using and all of that. And I'm very sorry that I cannot draw more. I really wish I could. Let me just see if I can reboot Photoshop. Let me know if you have that problem also. Like, it's just like, it moves, but it won't, like, it's like it's not touching anymore. Usually I have to reboot my entire computer to be able to fix this, which is completely annoying. Anyway, Kaide says, I might start that challenge done a bit late, probably get it turned, but it seems like amazing practice. Absolutely. Any challenges that we have, it's really always awesome, because having everybody participating with you is just such a boost of confidence. And you guys will see that in the 1 week portrait, because this is amplify times, thousands of times. We have thousands of people participating at the same time. It's always great. Lola says, sounds like driver might stop working, might be window update or your antivirus program. Neither of those things that I'm using. I'm on Mac, and shame on me, I don't have any antivirus. Unplug and reboot device. I had the similar. Ouyon maybe twice. Some drivers. I've been trying that. I'm gonna try it all. Right. All right. So here, I'm gonna unplug that and plug it back again. See if that does the trick. It doesn't. All right. I will try to close Photoshop entirely, but I don't think it's going to change because this is all over the computer. So I don't think it's going to change anything. I'll save that. Just close that. Don't save. Do you do any personal pieces? If yes, what are they? But if you follow me on Instagram, you by like personal art. If you follow me on Instagram, from time to time, you'll see my personal art. But I do mostly photos reference these days, just because they're quicker. I'm able to do a photo reference in a couple of hours. And sometimes, because I have little time in between the business side of things, this is all the time that I have. And unfortunately, it was funny. I was looking at a video about how pleasing the algorithms is not the way as an artist. Like, we should not do that. But it's exactly what I'm doing. I'm trying to just please Instagram by having at least a piece every 2 days that I can post. But yeah, those are the pieces that I'm doing these days. But I would love to, as I have a video editor that helps me with the videos. And right now we're going to do the 1 week portrait. I'm very busy, but afterwards I'll be able to have more time. I would love to start doing a little bit more of pieces from imagination. As I'm teaching this, actually, we have an entire course called Illustration for Imagination, which we are going to launch also next month. So you guys stay tuned. And where I basically teach how to do illustration for imagination and how it is possible to do it, even though if you're not able to, if you never did it before, because it's not, it's not a question of talent. It's a question of technique. It's a question of step by steps. It's a question of knowing how to start, how to build your composition and all of that. And you can really create amazing things from imagination, even though you're not that great of an artist. And I'm teaching all of this. So all of that to show that I would love to do more of it, but I don't always have the time. And then a quick study is always I have always the time for this. Elia, I missed your question. Let me go back. Elia says, I always feel like it makes the faces look older when I add the muscle lines like that. How do you do it in a way that they don't look 30 years old? That's a great question. The more you're going to add lines, the more it's going to look old. That's absolutely normal. So what you want to do is to kind of put it in the occlusion shadows only. So instead of doing like the entire lines of my smile here, you just do it like here instead, just to accentuate where the most tension in the muscle is. Same thing for the eyes, instead of doing a lot of lines, try to see where are those occlusion shadow and emphasis on those things. And it's going to show the expression without adding a ton of lines so they look old like this. So I think the key word is occlusion shadows, because you're going to have like lines in the forehead sometimes, and don't put it everywhere. Just put it where you have those occlusion shadow. And if you don't know what an occlusion shadow is, then do a little quick research about it, or check in the DPA. The DPA have a entire module about rendering. I talk about occlusion shadows, and one about lighting from imagination. Talk about occlusion shadows there as well. So yeah. Katie said, do you have another mouse or tablet plug at the same time? No, I don't. And it's funny because my trackpad works and I'm able to click on stuff and it works perfectly, but my tablet doesn't work. But see, like, I'm able to move my mouse I'm able to move my mouse, but it won't register the click. It won't register the touch, which is super, super weird. Like, I could open my preference. I'm on a Mac. For everybody that's trying to help me right now, I'm on a Mac. And if I go to the Wacom tablet. I don't think I'll be able to fix anything here. Lola says, I don't know how it looks on a Mac, but in Windows, have a tablet setting shortcut, and I just reset the driver. Yeah, I do have the driver, and I tried that too, the Wacom desktop driver. Um, but there's no reset to it for me. Or anybody, if you know a Wacom, sorry, if you know a Mac and a Wacom, let me know if there's a way for me to do it. But I have like that Wacom desktop server center, and like I could create an update, but I'm already at the latest update, so I cannot update it again. Even if I quit that doesn't change anything. Um, and if I go in options of click and tap pen button over, press the pen button to tap, hold the pen to no. Disable alt tablet button. No, it's not that. So yeah, it's really a shame. Amy says about the question that I just answered about the lines that are true. The true answer is practice. I'm not sure. Yeah, obviously, like having like the right lines takes a little bit of practice, but really, if you focus on the occlusion shadows, this is going to help a lot. Question from Daniel. Anything new on IFI this time? I did it last batch. Currently working on a book illustration. So yeah, I'm planning on having a few more briefs for people that are participating. So we already have six briefs: Alice in Wonderland, Sherlock Holmes, Dracula, Oz, the Wizard of Oz. I'm missing a few more, and I want to add a few more. So I'm going to have new briefs, and if I have the time, I want to either have a new illustration recorded. I'm not promising anything here. I really want to find the time though to have a new illustration recorded that goes through the same step as usual. There's 6 modules in illustration for imagination, and during the 6, I do an illustration already with the students. So I teach the technique and then I show them as I apply them, so it's easier for everybody to follow. And so you already have that in illustration for imagination, but I would like to redo this illustration to something new. Obviously, I did the illustration for imagination a few years ago, so I would like to do this. If I'm not able to do it in advance, maybe I'll participate with everybody that is actually doing it at the same time. So those are the 2 things I would like to have. I also have a deep dive and a DPA about gesture drawing. I might include that in the IFI. So if you're not in the DPA, you'll have still access to that one piece of content just because it's relevant. So I might do those things. So Lola says, I would like to know if he will come next month. Usually I do it after 1 week portrait. So I'm going to have 1 week portrait, and then I have a week in between where I like to answer questions and do some Q&As. And then we would open the doors to IFI. For everybody that doesn't know what IFI is, it's really just the biggest project that I do every year. That's where I basically shut down all my other projects, concentrate 100% on teaching how to paint from imagination, and I do that for 6 to 8 weeks usually. It's amazing. Every year we have hundreds of students participating. It's been years that I'm doing it, and every year it's a little bit more fun than the previous year. So yeah, I'm super excited about it. I'll give you all the news as soon as I know it. Is there a different theme this year? Last year, I think it was a movie poster. Yes, it's going to be still a movie poster, but with different briefs again. And Carl says you'll just have to buy a Cintiq now. I know. It's just I'm traveling still too much. I'm still planning to go to Thailand this year in July because I was planning to buy a Cintiq when I arrive here. I'm in Colombia right now. But then I was like, I'm moving back to Thailand, so I don't want to have to, and I don't want a tiny Cintiq to travel. I want big one, and kind of. Finally, it's been years that I want one. So anyhow, I might have one in Thailand. That's one of my goals this year. Unplug the USB cable, reboot your Mac. Yeah, I could reboot your Mac, but I'm going to lose this live, and then I'm going to lose all of you guys because I would have to create a new link. So yeah, no. Be cool to have to do the same thing. Yeah, I know. I would love to do the illustration at the same time. I think it would be cool, but once again, because I teach during that period of time, sometimes time is a little short, but I think I'm still going to do it. Um, Lola, you're absolutely welcome. And Amy, thank you so much for letting me know that you find it awesome. So yeah, I'm very looking forward to open the doors to IFI. But it starts with the 1 week portrait every year. It's like kind of the warm up of Illustration for Imagination. So that starts on the 11th. I put a link in the description if you want to participate. The challenge is free. The course that comes with it is free. You might have the chance to win some awesome prize, which I'm still working to gathering right now. All of this will be on the registration page, which the link is in the description again, and I'm still working on it. But for now, guys, if you don't have any more questions, I'm going to let you guys go because I can't paint. David says, wow, it's my first year in the DPA, so I'm excited about hearing about IFI. I cannot wait. Yeah, absolutely. But the DPA and IFI are two different things. Hopefully, you understand the difference. But the DPA is the library of illustrations, of tutorials that we have, and it's open all year long. IFI opens the doors and then close them. I'll give you all the information in a few next week so you understand the difference between the two of them. But really, this is like the difference between them is you kind of can go at your own pace with the DPA. In IFI, I take the entire group and I make sure that everybody follows the same order. I give feedback the entire way, paint over the entire way. I really make sure that everybody finished with one illustration made from imagination 100%. So it's really a different experience. They're both going well together, the DPA and Illustration for Imagination. I would say that Illustration for Imagination is for portfolio building, where the DPA is for like beginner to intermediates to build their skills. That's the biggest difference between the two of them. So do you need to have done the academy before going to IFI? No, you don't. But having both of them will help you. It's usually the people that were in the DPA that then join to IFI, because what it happens is kind of follows. So if you're in the DPA, you already know that you have 6 steps, right? From newbie all the way to professional kind of thing. And IFI falls kind of in the middle of it. So it's like the perfect kind of step towards building a professional portfolio. And Illustration for Imagination comes with Going Pro Masterclass for free, which is an $800 course that I give for free with IFI, because I think they're going pair to pair, where it prepares you to not only build your portfolio, but then to how to speak to clients, how to find clients, how to ask for the right prices for your art. All of those questions that you need to know when you start your career are part of IFI. So it's really just for like when you're starting to be a little bit more close to the professional level. That's where IFI is really important. So if you want to do the jump, that's why I created the course. How much should I charge for character design? I know it depends on the project, but I'm taking on average between X, Y, Z. You know, every time that someone's asked me that question, that's the kind of answer that they want, one number. But as I just specify it in your question, there's no precise number. It's a cumulation of all the things that the project has. So when it comes to character design, there would be like the size of the company that asks for it. Are they national? Are they local? Are they international? What kind of project you're going to be working on? Is it local? Like, how big is it? And for all those things, it's going to add increments in your price. Now, this is a very, very short way to simplify something very complex. There's books, actual books to talk about those things, and in Going Pro, I actually talk about those things. I don't know for character design. Personally, I never had a character design contract, but if I were to make you an example for like a book cover, it would be, where is the book is going to be sell? Is it going to be local, international, or national? All of those things will have different prices. The size of it, the complexity of it. Are they going to make poster with it, advertisement with it? How many basically things they're going to do beside the book with this illustration? And all those things add new layers. So you start with an illustration that you might charge anything between $2,000 to $5,000, let's say, for an international book of a very renowned company or publisher. And then all of those things that add just increments in percentage. You add 30% because they're going to do a billboard with it. You add another 20% because they're going to make a website out of it, this and that. And then you just add that to the price. And this is why advertising illustration are going very high, because usually it's for big company. Can you imagine making illustration for Coca-Cola? You're not going to charge $500. You're going to charge $25,000 for this, because they're going to do so many things with it, because the illustration is going to have so much more life. Actually, recently I did one for the government of Canada. I did a stamp, and I charge. I'm not allowed to say, but I charge a lot for it, because it was an illustration that will be national all over the country, seen a lot of things. I would also sell the rights, so I don't own the rights of this image. That's their image. They can do whatever they want, and all of those things add to the price. So there's a lot of things to take in consideration. And in the Going Pro, I actually go in just a little bit more of in depth to teaching you how to do this, give you examples and all of that. All right, you guys, I'm not able to fix my tablet. I'm very sorry. I need to find a way. If you're looking at the replay of this and you know how to fix it, let me know in the comment. I would love to fix this. This is super annoying, especially when I'm doing lives. So yeah, thank you so much, everybody that joined me. That was awesome to have you here, guys. And yeah, can't wait to do one week portrait with you all in a few days. I'll give you more news about it in the tribe, Paintable tribe, link in the description as well. But I'm pretty sure everybody here is part of the tribe already. And so yeah, have a good evening, good morning, good night, depending where you are in the world. And we'll talk soon, guys. Ciao.